Hello friends and welcome to one more video of Happy Sourcing India. Today we will be discussing 4 steps to achieve product market fit. This is agenda. This is particularly to understand asking basic questions whether there is a market, what problem your product is trying to solve, how do you build a product that the market actually needs. This kind of basic questions will be addressing today. So is there even a market? Like you might be heard throughout your career that many guys ask what is the target potential demand to target a potential huge market, like this potential huge market. I don't know, many guys this ask potential huge market. What the hell is potential huge market, like how you can define that and how it is going to help you out to define your own product. So TAM, SAM and SOM, these are three concepts. It includes total addressable market, served available market, and share of market. Now, if you now able to define huge potential market in terms of total addressable market, served available market, and share of market. No, you are more focused on what you're trying to do. This is marketing. Marketing guru Seth Godin introduced a concept of smallest viable market in his work. This is marketing. Rather than targeting an entire market, founders should first find a consistent niche of the market, and this gives you obvious advantages. Let's understand which problem is your product trying to solve. Therefore, it is essential to be clear about vision, mission, and product. Ask yourself this question: Why do I want to solve the problem? What do I want to achieve? How will the problem will be solved? These are the three core and basic questions. If you are able to address it really clearly with the conceptualization of this problem in your brain, trust me, your product is going to address a huge target market. Your product is going to appreciated by a large number of people. If you are absolutely crystal clear about these three statements. So the basic and the most important question comes in picture. How do I build a product that market actually needs? So in the essence, it is not all about working on a product in isolation for several months and then troubling it on the market. Rather than, or as I said, the potential users should be involved into formation of being in the core of the product. That is how a product uh, could be developed. It would be a continuous feedback mechanism, exactly what your target market, niche target market is looking for, how you going to solve the issue. That is how you can conceptualize the problem. So as discussed in previous slide, that uh, how to build a product that actually market needs or the market is demanding. You need to understand the thought process. Okay, you need to understand the design thinking behind the thought process, and this could be displayed here on my screen. So iterate, test, and accelerate are the basic three cores, and then empathy. You're supposed to have an empathy, and that's supposed to be in the core of any solution. Look at any solution today which is successful. Obviously, they have an empathy at the core. Then they're doing, prototyping, ideate, define, and then you keep on test, implement. Everything has to circle around the empathy. Empathies. It it can be very complex, require good methodology and an understanding of human factor of action and motion. In the end, It is all about getting to know the potential customer and his problem in depth in an one-on-one session, and that is how it will keep you closer to your customer. It doesn't matter if you are in a software, it doesn't matter if you are in a supply chain management or sourcing agent or whatever that is. You're supposed to be really close with your client and try to understand what they are trying to do. If you are able to understand that part, you will be able to touch the empathy there, you will be able to touch the emotions there, and that is how it kicks off. Define. The aim is to select a high selective persona that is promising in terms of market potential, willingness to pay, and willingness to change to a new product. Ideate, which is a price description of problem. Creative team can now brainstorm existing solution. Various techniques have new become established. In the end, however, all that is needed is a value free, global oriented approach. Prototype. Based on a sketched solution, designers can now create low fidelity design concept, coordinate them with a team, and have a rudimentary prototype developed. These are used to demonstrate them to potential customers and to obtain feedback. Now, taste is literally a very important aspect of entire solution. Before a test is launched, it is a fundamental to define success criteria. Okay, that is how the test is done. We define what would be success or not success, and define the test period. How high must the uplift of conversation be to achieve significant test result at estimated profit level and so on. For such For the launch of a classic A/B test, a new variant will run against a control. 50% of the users will see one, the other 50% will see second variant. I do not recommend too many parallel tests at the same time because it will be even more difficult to get a significant test result. Implement. If the test has proved successful and the test hypothesis is confirmed, the test version can be increased to 100%. A core feature of growth design thinking is data-driven approach. The qualitative information gained in empathy, define and ideate section can be verified or falsified in this area. The goal is to accelerate the cycle of design thinking process. Excellent and well-rehearsed growth marketing teams manage to launch one test per weekly sprinted and generate a corresponding learning. How do you measure product market fit? Identify a product market fit sounds so trivial, but in reality, it is not at all, especially if you do not want to indulge in an illusion. The obvious feature is exponential user growth. However, this is only a lagging and not a leading director indicator, a metric that you cannot consciously and purposefully control. Recommendation Net Promotion Score (NPS) is widely used tool for measuring customer satisfaction. By measuring probability of recommending the product, however, in my opinion, it is inappropriate to measure the product market fit. Retention. Analytically measurable user retention is much more better criteria to recognize the product fit because Retention is where the customers are revisiting, they are willing to pay again. That is why retention is really important, especially if it is a paid customer. Above all, it helps to work towards in it a targeted manner and to develop and to test the right theses of features. Let's try to understand our retention curve. If the curve converges against a straight line parallel to x-axis, we speak of product market fit. Kill the product by Cian Ellis. The answer to this question determines how important the product is in the daily life of a user. According to a benchmark study conducted by Cian Ellis, founder of GrowthHackers.com, 40% is the threshold over which one can speak of product market fit. What are the next steps after achieving product market fit? Startups that have achieved a product market fit often see a natural increase in organic traffic based on word of mouth referrals. The next step is to use entire range of growth marketing to scale the user base systematically and sustainably. Performance marketing, referral loops, marketing automation, product lead growth hacks. These are the important aspects where one can expect growth of the product organically. Thank you very much. See you again in the next video.